So, in a bid to save what is left of his marriage to Naomi, the ooni of Ife, has actually traveled to River Ogun so that he can be involved in a cleansing exercise that is meant to bring lasting peace into the royal family. Hello, everyone, and welcome to D&Z TV. At D&Z TV, we have one mandate, which is to see that we give you up-to-date information of everything happening in the palace of the Ooni of Ife and also in the royal family. So, if there is anything you want to hear or want to talk about on this channel, this is the opportunity for you to bring it on. And guess what? As you bring it on, we will dissect it and take a position that will make you entertained, informed, and educated. Now, in what seems to be a serious turnaround at the palace of the Ooni of Ife, the Ooni of Ife has actually taken a giant step and a giant leap in what a lot of people can't even fathom or understand, in his bid to see that lasting peace is returned into the palace of the Ojaja II. Now, he was invited to come for a cleansing exercise at the river Shango. Now, the river has for over the years been used as a rallying point and a cleansing point of all royals. You know, when royals want to cleanse themselves of any form of evil and anything um, that is not supposed to be, they have a particular way and method which is being done. And this way and method which is being done is such that it kind of elevates and changes perspective, changes dimension, makes people to have a thorough understanding of how things should be done. Especially in this dispensation now, where it seems as if things are going haywire. People no longer have the will of understanding to see that things are done logically, properly, the way they are supposed to be. So, with all of this in mind, the Oni, as a matter of fact, actually took to the advice of the Ifa priest to travel all the way to River Shango so that this cleansing exercise is going to be done. And trust me, when I say trust me, after this particular exercise now, the Oni of Ife is going to have some form of leverage. The Oni of Ife is going to have some form of peace of mind, because if you really understand, and I've been following this story very well, peace of mind is actually what the palace has been missing all this time and all these years. So with this new dispensation now, with this new plan now, which the Oni is going for this sacrifice, which means technically speaking, they are going to have a different mindset. They are going to have a different understanding. They are going to have a different feeling. They are going to have a different attitude towards life. Because if you look at it very well, over the years, there's been this secret tussle in the family. There's so much tussle where people are trying to outdo themselves, people are trying to outsmart themselves. People just come from all different walks of life and try to see how they put so much pressure on the Oni of Ife in such a way that even his position, even his place in the palace has been tampered with. He doesn't really have so much strength, so much capacity to say the things he wants to say. He doesn't have so much control. He does not really have the control to say something and it happens. Rather, people just have the way of tossing him around. So the Ifa priests are now trying to see how they can put a total stop to this, where the Oni's supremacy is going to be returned fully. His supremacy is something that people cannot withstand and people cannot judge. People differently have different mindset of how they want to do things, but right now they are trying to see how they can return the power back to him. They need to return the power back to him because his might is something nobody can toy with. His might is something nobody can play with. His might is something that everybody holds dear, everybody holds sacrosanct. Over the years that has passed, when the only says the word, it happens. That is why, if you notice, before now, people did not see that the women in the palace were powerful. People only knew just about the ooni himself alone. But now, with the women having so much power now in the palace, it is now they've somehow relegated the ooni to the background. The ooni does not have so much power like that again to say things, do things, and have some level of strength that people can begin to relate with the way they should relate with. So it is actually pertinent to note that, not minding all the challenges that have been happening, the ooni has still kept his head low. The ooni has still kept his head low. The ooni has still been able to put some things under control. He's trying to put some things under control to see that no matter what these women all do, he wants to see that he somehow brings Naomi together in one roof. He somehow makes everybody to have the genuineness and supremacy of his might. Because whether we like it or not, the Ooni of Ife is the most celebrated traditional ruler in Africa presently as we speak. If you go through from the north, from the south, from the east, from the west, there is no traditional ruler right now that is as influential as the Ooni of Ife. So, but it is beyond his being influential. In as much as he is influential, he still needs to put his house in order. Now, what difference does it make that, okay, you're being adjudged the most influential and the most powerful traditional ruler in Africa, and yet your house is in disarray? Your house, there's no control in your house. People behave anyhow. People talk anyhow. There's so much misunderstanding. There's so much. Everything is just going south. So when you continually have that kind of mindset, then it just shows that there's still much to be done. So with this new invitation now that the Oni has accepted to go, it is actually going to change perception. It is actually going to change mindset. It's actually going to change the way people are going to be looking at him, because people right now are looking at him differently. So right now, people need to see that he has the power, and once he has the power, he needs to leave that power. Beyond having the power, one needs to leave the power. One needs to wield the power. One needs to use the power. One needs to control the power. That is the time that everybody will know that he is still powerful. Because if you want to just follow by the way it is right now like this, then trust me, the Oni's power will have lost essence and strength. So right now, my people, the Oni has actually accepted to go for that invitation to see that he's being cleansed, so that Naomi too can perfectly return to the palace. Thank you, my people, and see you some other time. Bye bye.